Good morning, everybody. Following the publication of the national guidance regarding the opening for all schools in September, there is going to be an awful lot of information that will come your way, be that through texts, be that through Teams, through emails, on the Academy website, on Facebook, on Twitter, and I'm well aware that sometimes we can get a little bit lost in the detail when it's written down and it's for us to read. So just like last time when I did a video of frequently asked questions for the reopening for Year 10 and Year 12 students, I thought it'd be a good idea to do the same thing for our full opening for September for all students. So I've compiled a list of frequently asked questions which I will do my very best to answer, and hope that this makes a little bit more sense than just constantly giving out Word documents and advice in written form. Okay, let's go. Let's see how it goes. No, our school day timings, arrival and dismissal are going to remain the same. We believe that our site allows for this because we can put in place zoned arrivals and dismissals with safety. We also feel it will support you as parents and carers in how you organise the school run if there are siblings in a primary school that you also have to take. So we think that really is the best way for us. It doesn't compromise our safety. Children will be zoned on arrival in the school and they will be monitored. And there will be a map on the website and on Facebook for where the different year groups will go to on arrival. So for us at George Salter, a zone is best described as a year group, and each year group is allocated a specific entry and exit point of the academy, a zone for their classrooms which is barriered off, a social space, and also a set of toilets. Now there can be movement between classrooms in the zone, but there will be no movement at all to other year group zones. We're planning to issue a slimmed down menu card to students who will complete and return that card to their form tutor. This card will then be used to order and prepare the items, and will also trigger a payment from Parent Pay. All the topping up of student accounts for Parent Pay will have to be done online because we can't do the thumbprint biometrics. And we're hoping to be able to deliver food to students either at tutor time or in period 4, and thus avoid the issue of having to serve from a counter in a social zone or indeed from the canteen. The limited menu may mean that we're unable to serve a hot plated meal. We hope to be able to serve some hot food, but it won't be a plated meal. And we do recommend that as far as possible, students bring the food and drink for the day to the academy themselves if they're able to. I guess the system that we're looking to implement will be somewhat similar to what you may have been used to in the primary school, where students order a week in advance. Children will be allowed to go to the toilet when it's required, and there will be a pastoral member of staff in the corridor who will supervise and ensure that we only have one student in the toilet at any one time. No, the national guidance suggests that the routine testing of an individual's temperature, it's not a reliable method for identifying COVID-19 symptoms. So we will follow the guidance, and it's the same for us as it is for you as parents, carers. We will look for the symptoms of a high fever, a new and continuous cough, a change in or a loss of the normal sense of taste or smell, and we will act accordingly. Hand sanitizers are going to be used at entry and exit points to the academy. They are in every classroom. They're to be used at the start and end of every lesson, And toilet wash basins, well, they're being monitored very carefully. There's a heightened and enhanced cleansing routine, and we're going to ensure that soap dispensers are full and that they don't get clogged up. We do know that hand hygiene is crucial in our approach to tackling the virus, and we are very serious about that. Right, teachers will teach from the front, and they will endeavour to teach at a distance of 2 metres from students. And we will have clear protocols in place for the deployment of teaching assistants who will not be sitting next to children. Our desks will be arranged in rows facing forwards with appropriate 1 metre plus social distancing where that is possible. And students will take part in a tutor time session in the first week in September, which will reinforce our social distancing measures before they return to the academy. We will have in place a full COVID-19 risk assessment that will have been shared with our trust partners out and have their approval, and it will have been shared with wider stakeholders. An abridged version of that in parent and carer and student speak will be on the school website, as we have done previously, and we will also put on there photos of what the school is looking like to allay any concerns or any anxieties that you may have regarding our site. There will be new teaching and learning protocols in place. The classroom layout may well look different for some young people, as children will sit at desks in rows facing forwards. There will not be the same opportunity for active lessons in the classroom, as we're going to try to keep movement, we're going to try to minimise movement. The students will continue to complete the weekly quizzes and some assessments online. Verbal feedback, in other words what the teacher says about the work, will become even more important and regular. But we are saying that books can be marked and books can go home, but written feedback will probably be reduced in quantity. No. Our practical lessons in half term 1 will be theory based. But this is valid, and this is a good opportunity to reflect on that provision, because all subjects have theory as an integral part of the learning. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. If we take music, for instance, 40% of the GCSE course is theory based, and so this gives an opportunity to really explore and secure the understanding of the theory in the discipline without the need for the practical work. So we have spent a good deal of time, and our heads of department are planning like crazy, you might say, from now through the summer to make sure that those lessons are really high quality and have a real purpose, which is all about the national curriculum, the GCSE syllabus, and what's required in post-16 study. Yes, we think it's really important that children are active. It's good for their healthy lifestyles, it's good for their emotional and mental well-being, and for some they may well have gone through a period of a degree of inactivity. So we have taken a decision that on a PE day students will be allowed to come into school with their PE kit. PE will mostly be outdoors, and each activity that they do will follow the risk assessment for that sport, which is provided by the National Association. If it's raining hard, PE lessons may well take place in the classroom. I really do understand that concern. I'm a parent too. The government has said there are 5 tests that need to be met for restrictions to be eased, and they're planning accordingly. So we are following the national, the local authority and OAT guidance in all that we're doing. And if that changes, we change our plans. Our plans and our risk assessments have been approved by the trust partners, and they have been shared. We believe that we are managing risk that's presented by COVID-19. Most importantly, we are really excited about seeing the young people coming back into our school. Safety is our number 1 priority, but we really do want to know that our young people are safe, that they are back in school, and that they're learning. And that really is very exciting for us. Well, the government have stated that attendance is compulsory, so in effect children have to be in school. We believe that students are safe, they're happy, and they're more able to learn when they're in school. When they're not in school, they miss out on all those elements, and they also miss out on the opportunity to access support. So we're expecting all children to be in school from September, as long as the guidance doesn't change. Well, we will follow the guidance, and we are planning for normal class size. Yes, there is no change, and students are expected to wear the normal school uniform. If you're unsure what that is, it's on the Academy website, and it hasn't changed for 2 years, and it really is very straightforward and simple. Students will wash hands or hand sanitize on entry and exit, and the national guidance regarding hand washing must be followed. The national guidance regarding travel by public transport must be followed. We would recommend that as far as possible, students try to avoid using public transport, but children, young people and parents are encouraged to walk, to cycle where possible, but certainly to avoid public transport at peak times. And I have shared our opening and closing times with the public transport authorities. No. Students will be grouped in year group learning zones where they will remain at all times whilst they're in our school. There may be some movement between groups within the same zone. That will be kept to a minimum, but we're working very hard to ensure that when we're open, we will be meeting the government's guidance on social distancing, infection control, and that does mean children in zones that don't mix. In Year 7, students will be taught for the first half term in tutor groups. In Years 8 and 9, students will be taught in their sets, so there'll be some movement within their year group zone. In Years 10 and Year 11, students will be taught in their sets and also in their option groups, as previously. So again, there will be movement. Movement is allowed within a zone. It's just not allowed across zones. In Years 12 and Year 13, students will be taught in their option groups, in their zones. The schools and academies are following the national guidance that's produced by the Department for Education and Public Health England. We will operate social distancing measures, have increased cleaning schedules, and ask children to follow more stringent hygiene routines. Students can bring a bag with their equipment for the day, and books can be taken home. We recommend that students bring their own food and drink where possible. We also advise that students bring their own bottle of water, tissues and hand sanitizer in their bags. Students will enter the academy and they will exit the academy via their specific zones. It's actually quite hard for me to describe those to you, as they are best seen on the map, which is on the website and on Facebook. It really is quite clear where they enter and then where they go as soon as they're on our site. We would ask that families who are shielding or staff who are extremely clinically vulnerable take the advice of their GP or clinician, and that they make an informed decision about whether they should attend. All students who are unwell will be told to stay at home, whether the symptoms they display are COVID-19 symptoms or not. We will need you to follow the NHS advice, take a test and inform the academy as soon as possible, because we would then need to act accordingly for the safety of other children. No, the library is closed. We need that for a zone, for the Year 12 zone. But children will have a book box in every classroom, and we will encourage independent reading, and that book box will allow us to do that. Yes, there will be homework according to the timetable and regularity of setting, and it will be set either in the lesson or via Teams. I really do understand that, and I think the best advice that I can give you as a head teacher, as a educationalist, and as a parent is to talk to your child in a positive way about the return to school. Talk about seeing friends again. Talk about seeing the teachers who really have missed them. Talk about the need for what I keep hearing about, which is a return to a new kind of normality. Help them to understand how social distancing works. Make sure they know the importance of hand washing. But we are also really more than happy to speak to the student, to you as a parent or carer, about the concerns one-to-one. And we have built time into our plans for the opening in September for that to happen, for a counselling service, for pastoral time, for withdrawal. And we will deal with those issues as they come to us. I think it's really important that you and the children talk to us if you are concerned. We will shortly be contacting parents, carers and students in Year 11 and Year 13 with our arrangements for the results day. We are expecting to open the academy in a structured way so that children can receive their grades and that we can deal with any matters arising that might come out of that. We hope to see lots of smiling faces. We really genuinely do. And we wish Year 11 and Year 13 all the very best in advance of those results. Thank you very much for listening. As those of you who saw the Channel 4 news recently will have noted, I do get edited out. I do apparently have a really good face for radio, so I'm not sure how this has come across. I just think sometimes it's easier to hear the answers rather than read them. So I hope you understand what I've tried to do. And if I could just say to the students, please stay safe. And we really are very excited about welcoming you back to our academy. We have missed you and we want you back. Thank you.